Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and this is a follow up to yesterday's video where I talked about the excellent response that Gamehole Con had to somebody that I referred to as a concern troll. And people have asked me, well, don't you investigate those that do misdeeds in the community? Isn't what you do the same thing? Well, I'm going to explain to you where I see the difference. And I have Dunbars Number up here because that's going to be part of this conversation in a little bit too. But when I look into the misdeeds of, the perceived misdeeds of people like Ken Whitman, Gil Gygax, even more recently, right? TSR. I am looking at it from newsworthiness. I am looking at it to inform the community. I don't give a flying fig Newton if somebody follows TSR's page or is a friend of Ken Whitman or they're a friend of Gail or they're a friend of Zach Smith or they're a friend of Vanguard. I don't care. All right. Why don't I care if they're a friend of something like this or somebody like that? Because twice in my Facebook time, there were two people who decided I was so offensive that they were going to make this big announcement that if you are a friend of Tenkar's, you can't be a friend of mine. And if you don't delete your friendship with Tenkar, I'm deleting you. And the one person did that, and I think they had to delete like 350 mutual friends. I don't believe I lost any. And the other one that did that, I lost a handful of people I probably didn't need as, quote, friends, but it really backfired. But these were social media purity tests, right? Tenkar is so bad, you can't be on the list. So, this person is so bad that you got to ban him from a con, right? Isn't that like a social? Because that's, I mean, it's not even like we're doing a petition, right? I'm telling you, so and so is so bad. I'm telling you, so and so is so bad. If you, as our investigative reporter in the OSR, don't investigate them, then you have bias. You aren't doing your proper job. Been told that, right? So, why do these purity tests, social media purity tests, usually backfire? Why is that? Dunbars Number. Now, I'm going to offend some people out there because and this isn't a dick measuring contest. I have 3.4, and I can tell the exact number, 3.4 thousand, so 3,400 friends on Facebook. And I don't like that terminology of friends. I don't. I preferred it with Google Plus. Google Plus, these are people who had you circled. They had you circled because there's an interest they shared with you, or they circled you because they wanted to follow you on social media. They wanted to know this. But there was a commonality. Here, 3,400 people have friended me, and these are also people who have sent me friend requests, and I've gone and clicked. Okay, I got a lot of people out in China apparently trying to sell me dice, but that's besides the point. Dunbar's number says that the maximum amount of people that as a human being we can actually effectively manage a relationship with, contact with. It goes upon brain size and all this, but it's somewhere between 100 and 250, and they generally say 150 is the number. So that is less than 5% of my number of Facebook friends, which means the vast number of them I don't have very much interaction with other than they follow what I do. They follow my posts, they follow my videos. Maybe they give me information on something that's going on. So it's a misnomer, I think, that we call them friends on Facebook. They should be Facebook acquaintances, Facebook followers, people who circle you. I think that was better, personally. So what happens is there are people that equate the number of friends they have on Facebook as influence, kind of like Twitter, right? I've got 17,000 people following me on Twitter. Good for you. Good for you. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have influence. What happens is people get to this weird position where they feel, I'm so important that I'm going to tell you what needs to get done. And if you don't do it, I'm going to exert my influence. Like when you call out a convention publicly about somebody, are you allowing you're allowing this person to attend? That's a conversation that in normal life, right? In real life, you're not going to yell them out in the bar, and you're going to make a phone call, send an email. Hey, I noticed that you have so-and-so attending. Oh, send a PM. You're doing it publicly because you're trying to show your influence, or you're trying to theoretically gain influence. And that's what so much of this social media bullshit is about. The purity test. Listen, I don't like Zach Smith. Okay, if you remember my interactions with Zach Smith on Google+, I wouldn't piss on a man if he was spontaneously combusting and I was the only way to save him. Wouldn't do it. Unless I was really drunk. And then maybe. But I can't stand Zach. Okay, I think he's a loathsome human being. But I'm not going to say, hey, you can't follow Zach. You can't read Zach's stuff and read my stuff. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you do. I don't care if Joe Schmo, who is an asshole, happens to go to a certain convention. I don't care. What does it matter? What does it matter to me? If he's at the convention that I'm at, right? I don't have to play games with him. I don't have to sign up to their games. What does it matter? Go back to Zach Smith. You can't buy his shit anymore, right? He's been basically blacklisted. He wrote some good stuff. He wrote some shitty stuff, in my opinion. But his good stuff was amazing. He's still a shitty person. But should we not have the ability to make that choice to buy that shitty stuff? Again, social media purity tests. I'm sure I have not faced the last of mine. I'm sure there'll be people later on going, you can't be a friend of Tenkar's and a friend of mine. Whatever. Usually when people make demands like that, though, in these purity tests, it usually backfires. Because people don't like to be told what to do. They don't. All right? Doesn't matter what your background is. Human nature is to, I'm not saying rebel against authority, but certainly push back against people who have no authority over you telling you what to do. People don't like it. So again, be wary of these social media purity tests. So-and-so they're not woke enough. Oh, so-and-so is too woke. Oh, so-and-so, they're a fascist. Oh, this guy, he's just a pure asshole. Think for yourselves, folks. I mean, when I talk about Kickstarters, do your due diligence when it comes to backing a Kickstarter, right? I can't say I did my due diligence with 3,400 Facebook friends. I can certainly say I've done very little due diligence. But the vast majority of them, I probably wouldn't go out and have drinks with. Certainly wouldn't change my schedule around. And if like the only way to go, oh, again, I never met you before, and I think I said like one word to you on social media. Yeah, I'm probably not going to change my itinerary around to make time for you. Doesn't mean I dislike you. Just means that you're not probably in that 150 or so people. Maybe for me it's 200. Maybe for me it's 100. I don't know. But you're not in that group. And I know there's going to be somebody very offended, like, but I'm friends with Tenkar on Facebook, and I appreciate it. And thank you for following me. Thank you for caring about what I talk about. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we have a special connection. But these purity tests are about that special connection, because it's like, I've got influence, and by doing this, I'm going to threaten you. By the way, for those that are looking for the original post that wasn't taken down by Game Home, apparently the original commenter removed their comment, and I think they left the community. I don't know what to say about that, actually. Do your own vetting, do your own diligence. If you don't like, oh, so-and-so is attending this con, personally, I wouldn't call them out in public on it. I would reach out in private. You're going to get a much better conversation if you do that anyway. But again, be wary of anything that looks like a social media purity test. They generally don't end well. They don't add well either. Apparently, I don't add well. Folks, thank you. We're still in the midst of the endemic. All right, I can't say the P word anymore because it's here to stay. All right, use your common sense. By the way, I should mention, by the way, somebody tried to hit me with a purity test over that when I said, talk to your medical professional and follow their advice, as opposed to the blanket stamp of, well, the CDC recommends. CDC doesn't know you. Your medical professional should know you. In my family, my sister had one shot, came down with heart palpitations, was told no more shots. Bad Mike, his wife was told no shots, verboten, because of her medical history. So for me to tell you to take a vaccine that I know people have been told by their medical professionals not to, I will tell you, seek your medical professional and seek their advice. All right? For that, somebody was trying to hit me with the social media purity test. It's amazing when it pops up, folks. It's amazing when it pops up. I guess on some level, if you get hit with that, it means somebody thinks you're influential, right? Somewhere along the line. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, roll them well. Tomorrow, I believe, Bad Mike and I, 8 p.m. Eastern, on Talking Crit Live, Ben Burns, New Comic Games. Be there. We'll enjoy your company. Ask us some live commentary. I'm sure Ben will be happy to answer. All right, folks. Laters.